Hey everyone, Angelo here, Hollywood filmmaker, recovering hobo. This is a quick video about my plan to recover from some symptoms of depersonalization, derealization that I've had flare up lately. Uh, Speaking of flares, it's not disabling, it's just really uncomfortable and unpleasant. But here's what I've learned, and here's what I'm trying to do. Because I'm not trying to just look at videos about symptoms all the time. That makes me get in my own head more. Depersonalization, derealization disorder, it's a way of coping with stress. And basically, I've been developing too much stress lately. On top of that, getting too in my own head and ruminating by like looking at social media. Hence, I'm quitting social media. YouTube is social media, but I'm not quitting YouTube. I just mean Twitter, Facebook, and stuff. I'm just staying off there for a while. And here's my plan basically. It's what I've learned is try and signal to my body that my body is safe and release tension from it, and that I should be present and secure in my body, and basically not my mind running, 1,000 miles an hour to try and solve problems that I can't solve. And frequently, like that'll happen to me. I'll get frustrated. I'll try just always be ruminating on stuff that's bothering me, thinking about I can't believe this person did this or whatever. And basically, and then I have to come back down to reality like, whoa, I just spent the last hour like flipping out about this. So I'm doing a few things. One, eating really well. I generally eat well, but this weekend I slipped a little. I had some pastries. So eating really well. Drinking lots of water, drinking tea without caffeine, that's stimulant. So for someone like me, a bit much. Um, Progressive muscle relaxation. That was really helpful. I did that today for like 30 minutes. Trying to stay fully engaged with my life, even when it gets uncomfortable, like the sensory information is too much. So, screenwriting, even though sometimes I almost feel like I'm getting in a cold sweat with anxiety over it, just keep doing it and notice my body posture. And if like I'm hunched forward, which I am a lot right here at my computer, like I'll just lean back, drop my shoulders, relax my face, do some deep breathing, like diaphragmatic breathing, meaning with my stomach expanding, not my chest so much. Oh, I'm sweating or something. I'm all greasy. And so, progressive muscle relaxation and deep breathing every day. I'm going to get up at 3:45 again. I've been slacking on my wake up times. I think that's been part of my problem is being a lack of discipline, like about being in touch or connected with my body. So I wasn't waking up as early. I was getting up more like 4:15. Doesn't sound like a big difference, and potentially it wasn't. But for me, I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I felt I had to, but I was letting the day slip away from me sometimes. And like I said, I was obsessed with looking at social media. Like I'd wake up in pain and at like 2 in the morning or 11 at night or whatever, and just look at Instagram or something just to try and feel better. It was ridiculous. And I knew I was so much better off not looking at it, and then I just dissociated somewhat. I'm not disabled, like I said, it's not the worst thing. So here's what else I'm doing: riding my bike every day. Now that can make my legs worn out. So on the days where normally I wouldn't ride, like say usually Sunday, I wouldn't ride my bike. Just don't ride it as hard. I don't ride it as long. I'll just do it for like 30 minutes. Today I did it for like 30 or 40 minutes or so. Uh, yeah, probably closer to 45 minutes or so, but whatever. I didn't ride super hard like I do a lot of times Saturday mornings for like 2 hours. Um, Along the lines of keeping my, not trying to withdraw from my life, and basically, which would mean sending a signal to my body that I'm not safe, trying to constantly expose myself as much as possible to stuff that's like normal. It's a little hard because I have a job and I'm busy with writing, so I can't always go out, but last night I went to the Alamo Draft House. I rode a metro bike there, which was so much fun, and I saw Conan the Barbarian. So inspiring just to be in the theater and see the pre-show and stuff there at the Draft House. They have their custom pre-show, and it was so great to see that and feel like connected here again. Even if the signal was a little like coming in fuzzy, the reception, and I was spacing out a little bit sometimes, but so much better to do that than to not do it. Get enough rest, and it's a little hard. I don't always do that. Um, don't check my phone a lot. Be present in whatever I'm doing. So I was pretty good about that today, just writing, doing what you love, for in my case, screenwriting, and not obsessing over symptoms. So when I start feeling upset, like, oh, I don't feel like my normal self now, I have to almost turn it around, like smile and be like, it's okay. This is the DPDR going DPR, the what Republic of Korea. What does that mean? Like DPRK, right? Whatever. Like I have to just smile and be like, it's just DPDR going through me. I'll get better for it. Every time I've had a relapse, which this is not a relapse, it's just a flare up, I've gotten better for it. And so I have to be like, wow, this is insane. This is wild. I'm just going to get better for this. And studying up a little bit, again, not too much, because people with DPDR, including myself, love to obsess over symptoms, which makes you spin out more and dissociate. Which was learn something about the science of it, which supposedly, I haven't corroborated any of this stuff, but part of the panic response of DPDR and shutting down your connection to your body and sense of reality. So I've been derealizing a little more this time, like looking at my computer screen, not quite feeling it's real, looking outside, not quite feeling it's real. In past years, like the first 17 years or so, I experienced DPDR on and off a lot. I never really had derealization. I don't think. Maybe I did. But I mainly experienced depersonalization. This time I've been experiencing that some. Like, huh? It's not there. So just kind of be calm. Be like, oh, okay, I'm experiencing this. No big deal. And I'll even tell myself, I have DPDR. And that just makes me smile because I'm like, oh, it's no big deal. It's not going to hurt. Believe me, I've been through the times where it is hell on earth. It is the worst terror I've ever experienced. I'm not saying that's always possible. I'm just saying in this instance. And I have open on my desk my secret weapon, my Bob and Brad machine. Whoa, what was I gonna say? Not a machine gun, a massage gun. So I've got the different like attachments for it, and I worked this on my body a bunch today. I felt so much tension released from my body. So now I realize every morning I have to do this. Every morning I have to do progressive muscle relaxation. In addition to my bike rides, like I bike to work, I have my exercise band, and this one's a little too thick and strong for me. Like I can't quite get the range of motion I want with it, or I sort of can, but I don't know. I want to try my old one snapped. That was more like didn't provide as much resistance, but I felt like I could move my arms a little more. So I just ordered another set, a Bob and Brad set, which I read is more durable. It won't snap. The last one I had lasted a long time, like maybe a year or so. Some other ones, they just don't last long at all. I fully expect this purple one to snap. But basically like a body-based approach, which is, oh, if I panic, don't worry. Don't necessarily even go flip out. Don't talk about my symptoms. I'm not saying I should hide them, but just like, don't obsess over them. And just be like, okay, I'm going through this. I'm going to do everything I can to signal to my body that I'm well, and I know I'll get better. And if I'm off sometimes, like I'm not feeling great, no big deal. Easier said than done. This is by far the most mild setback of DPDR I've had in my life. All the other ones I've had have been monstrously horrifying. And I don't even like saying that word, because even when I say that, it makes me recede into my head like, oh, all I'm thinking about is past, relapses. In this case, I don't want to think that. I want to think, okay, I know this is working for me. It's going to help me, even though it's unpleasant, teaching me a valuable lesson. Focus on my writing, because that's where my career is going to be. And I had a little brief moment of clarity today where it's like the signal came in a little bit clearer of reality, where I could picture my future in screenwriting and enjoying a film shoot and having my dream of being a screenwriter. And what I was saying about the science of it, I was watching videos a little bit on the science of it from Jordan Hargrave. He says one of the things the panic response does is shut off some part of your brain. I forget what it's called. Amygdala, could easily be something else. That is basically, it shuts off various parts of your brain. One that's like for social functioning, where you feel emotionally distant from like people close to you, like you don't emotionally respond to them, like feel any recognition of their presence, which I've gone through big time in my life. And that was so terrifying, especially when I didn't know what DPDR was. And also the part of your brain that's responsible for like, being able to see a future or plan a future. So when I get DPDR, and pretty much everyone else with it, all we do is obsess thinking we'll never get better, we'll never get better, because apparently, this is what Jordan Hartgrave says, it literally shuts off the part of your brain that is capable of thinking about a future. So when you get moments of clarity, which when you get them, that's a good sign. It means you're going to get them more and more if you keep up the routine of being well. It means that part of your brain is reactivating again. In my case, it was like a fuzzy signal, like a radio getting static or a TV antenna getting snow. I'm zipping up my Bob and Brad massage gun case. But I'm going to use this tomorrow morning. I'm going to get up early. And basically, and also, it's really important, avoid environments or people that are harmful for you. Now that, easier said than done. Some people are trapped in abusive situations and stuff. It's horrible. That was part of, for me, not that I was in an abusive situation at all when I was living in Arlington, but when I decided to move into my car, it was like I was living a lie, being in it's a whole long story. I won't get into it. But I wanted to be a filmmaker. I didn't want to be living with people who are like just trying to live like ordinary dull lives, like just hanging out, drinking, eating. I'm like, I'm working all the time on videos, and I wasn't pushing myself anywhere near hard enough. So I moved into my car to do it and to be a filmmaker and just to have the experience. And not just to have the experience, it's hard to explain, but I can't put this on the door now. To do something to pursue my filmmaking and like drop a bunch of my expenses and do something where I was going to have to be more active, but it wasn't anything. This was the only thing I could have done. I had to. I was going dead broke constantly, barely paying my rent every month. Anyways, and that was instrumental to me learning how to be well. And I really feel like the last few weeks and months, I've been slipping on my discipline, slipping on my wellness regimen, like, and for what? Just to have a little momentary pleasure of looking at social media or sleeping in a few minutes. So I feel like I was doing really best when I was absolutely pushing myself my hardest each day. And even today, when I was at my computer here and I was kind of starting to stress out about other stuff in my life, I've looked back at my screen at the word processor or the screenwriting software. I had Trelby, and I was just focusing on it even more. Not like super intense, but just like letting myself dream in it as much as possible, because DPDR kind of shuts off feelings in a way, so it's a little bit muted, the dream. But even so, I was like, let me get engrossed in this as much as possible. Instead of trying to fight off the intrusive thoughts about stuff that's bothering me, I was just like, let me just focus on that. And before I know it, like hours would go by and I didn't even realize it. So now it's 8 o'clock, time for my bed. Normally I'm asleep by the time the sun's still up, and it's already down. It's like 8 o'clock. Oh, also, and I've tried just little things to help myself. Like I bought from a convenience store these masks, facial masks that you put on your face. Partly just to do a little ritual to care for myself, and partly just to have something tactile, like touching my face and doing something for my wellness. I bet I could buy a pack of those cheaper. They were like $13 for like 8 of them. But I bet I could buy a pack of 50 for like $10 or something. I don't know. But stuff like that, or even just like I got my hair cut recently. Finally, I found a good hair salon where they know how to cut my hair. First place in LA I've been in 3 years here that knows how to cut my hair well. So it's like keeping up on that. Don't let it go like another week. Haircuts are really expensive, so if you can afford it, that's the thing. But anyway, so it's basically just constantly throughout the day, I want to be really disciplined about signaling to my body that I'm okay and not getting disappointed when I'm feeling symptoms, not even worrying or focusing on symptoms. And then before I know it, I have these little windows of time where I'm starting it's like my signal back to my body and reality and my dreams are getting stronger. And, they kind of just go like that, and don't even worry about that. Just focus on connecting to myself, and I'll get better. So I feel much better equipped and happy, even with the pain of this, happy that I know I can fully recover and I'm on my way and I can be even better this time. So that's just some thoughts for DPDR sufferers. I know believe me, I've gotten so many direct messages from people, and also unfortunately, if you DM me now, I'm not going to see it. So email me. But my email's in the about page of my channel, and it'll be in the description of this. I'm putting it in my new videos now. But people DM me, and actually, I don't encourage people with DPDR to DM me for advice. I say just go to Jordan Hardgrave, look up the experts because he's a coach on it, which is um, people would message me because they're desperate for help. They're in so much pain, and I know just what that's like, if not being in that situation so much worse where I was totally disabled. Uh, but, anyways, so I feel best equipped to recover this time. So, here we go. And I got part of that getting some good sleep. It actually does make me dissociate to not have good sleep. So, I'm going to get some sleep now, but just letting everyone know how that's going and just being loose. Like, literally, I get so tense sometimes writing, and I was realizing I was getting stressed while writing, and I was like hunched forward and stressed. So I would lean back and notice I would just feel less stressed once I did that. So, anyways, there you go, everyone. Take care. There's my DPDR advice. Bye.